searching. I'm looking for someone to give goodbye.
We are who we've been waiting for. We are we got. We are our own solution.
I'm looking, I'm searching.
I'm looking,
I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give goodbye me. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give goodbye me. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give goodbye me. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give goodbye.
It's from the love that's in me. I love the love. I am so grateful for the enemy, but yet they still attack me with the envy. They're trying to clog my drain, leave me empty. They say I'm honored every week. I say humbled and grateful, not to feel weak. Let the church speak. I'm on the wall, but they just. Okay, let's see here. Got the green, red nails. We're live. Grand rising, everybody, and happy Saturday. I'm so excited to be here today at the home of the Bronzeville Podcast Studio, the Chicago Community Activism Podcast, with your host, Sista Afrika. Listen, this show was created because a lot of times people want to be more involved. They want to do more in the community. Oftentimes, they don't know where to get started, who to call, where to go, what to do, how to delve right into it. So our good brother, Brian Gorman, decided, why don't we create a show based around Chicago? Because we love our city. And activism, organizers, those who serve, those on the ground, those who do so much amazing work, and create a show around it. And so that's how this was started. Shout out to Brian Gorman, the visionary, the leader, the producer. He's so many things. We'd be here all day talking about Brian. But I think it's so important to pay homage and give respect where it's due. You know, we've been rocking over 30 years. Have mercy, Lord. Thank you, God. And I'm just grateful, to have people in my life that pour into me, that I can pour back into and give back out into the universe so we can all be liberated and get justice, freedom, and equality. My parents, I dedicate this show to you both. My father, the late, great Reverend Dr. Kwame John Porter, sacrificed a lot, was a pastor. They called him the Moose of Inglewood. And he was the person that was unafraid, unapologetically Black, unapologetically Christian, unapologetically a freedom fighter and liberator. He brought the likes of Brother Malcolm X to his church in Inglewood, and he brought Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. there. And we have to understand the context, family. In the 60s, Dr. King was not well liked at all. And so there was only a handful of pastors here who welcomed Dr. King. I'm honored to be the daughter of one. Rest in peace to my father. Rest in power to my father. My mother, born on Juneteenth, 90 years old, she still is very active, serving as a past president and member of the Alfreda Wells Duster Civic Organization, the oldest federated women's club in the country. This organization preserves the life and legacy of the Ida B. Wells. Ida B. Wells, as we know, spoke up, unafraid about lynchings, created a whole newspaper to tell the story about what was happening. So we're all in alignment, family. We're telling stories, creating narratives, sharing different mediums. Today, the medium is a podcast. And without further ado, we gave our CCAP, Chicago Community Activism Podcast, updates. We gave the history. Now we're going to get right into our guest. Our guest needs no introduction. I remember before, how you know somebody, but you don't know them. But before I even knew her, she had such a beautiful light. And I would see her out and about, and I'm like, man, that's Sister Cole. And I think it's so important when we see each other, we recognize our gifts, we recognize what we bring to the earth, we recognize how we serve our community, my good brother Darius was like, you got to connect with her. And he kept putting us on calls together. And we finally sat down, and it felt like we knew each other for years.
Yes.
And she is so intelligent. She's so beautiful, so connected, so giving, so serving. And the work she does, I'm going to let her tell it, but I'm still so in awe. The mindset of a queen that wants to give to kings. Won't you all welcome the queen,
LCSW.
LCSW. Hello?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, licensed clinical social worker.
Queen.
Yes, you got it.
Tytannie
Yes.
Harris.
Thank you so much, Sista Afrika. First of all, I am just a reflection of you.
Amen.
I want you to know that. So
That's
everything
right.
that you echo, I see that within you. So thank you so much for having me on the show. I want to give you your flowers as we begin Women's Day. And Women's
Amen.
History.
And thank you for
just-
being here to kick it off.
Yes. And just say thank you for what you've done for us over so many years. I've had the pleasure of knowing you for a few years through Darius, and it's been great. So thank you for being a light for us, for showing up for us and fighting a good fight. I'm to be here.
I'm honored. I'm honored. I want to get right into it because this 30-minute go quick.
I know it is. So, and it's so much, right?
It's so
Thank
much.
you.
How did you even get into the space? First, tell us, what do you do?
So I am Tytannie Harris. I am a licensed clinical social worker and psychotherapist by trade. I am the CEO of TMH Behavioral Services, owner and CEO. And TMH Behavioral Services is a group mental health, private practice, and behavioral health clinic here in Chicago that provides culturally relevant mental health services. So somebody may say, what does that mean?
Yeah.
So we think of mental health services, we think of traditional services, which we do.
Yeah.
Individual therapy, family therapy, couples counseling, community support, case management, and we take all forms of insurance.
Okay.
But we also do non-traditional and culturally relevant yoga, Reiki, workshops, healing circles for men, women, and children.
Yeah.
We see kids as young as 4 and adults as old as 90 through TMH Behavioral Services. I'm a team of all Black clinicians.
Come on.
We're actually celebrating 10 years serving the community on April 19th. We'll get into that because I want to invite folks out. So that's TMH Behavioral Services. Been around for 10 years.
Okay.
Love my team. We've been in Bronzeville, the low end, where I'm actually from, born and raised in the Robert Taylor Housing Project. So it feels like home. And it's a blessing to be able to serve the community in the community that I grew up in.
Amazing.
Yes. And what you spoke of earlier is TMH Man Cave, which is my nonprofit.
Yes.
So TMH Man Cave is a nonprofit whose mission is to eliminate the stigma and bring awareness to the mental health needs of Black men and boys here in Chicago. We've been doing this work for about 6 years because from my perspective as a therapist, as a sister, as a Black woman who loves Black men, you know, we created this space because we know Black men don't feel safe. So TMH Man Cave is a brave space where the brothers can come and feel empowered, encouraged through our programming. And for our young brothers, we do a boxing and mental health workshop every first Saturday. Actually, we have one today, and then in the summer we do a 9-week program.
Listen, family, that was a lot.
Yes,
she said they have one today.
Yes.
The other reason why our good brother Brian Gorman created this show, and we do it on Saturday, and usually we're dressed down, is because we want to get right into it. Those of you watching live, YouTube, Facebook, tap in with us. Come support the initiatives. Saturday is the day where a lot of people are out and about, activities galore.
Yes.
This is happening today.
Yes.
Please talk about that again.
Yep. So TMH Man Cave has our boxing and mental health workshops. Coach Q, Marquin.
Yes.
You know Marquin.
I love
He
you.
does the boxing portion, and then Cordarius Cowens is a therapist on my team. So for that first hour, they're in a healing circle, and they're journaling. They're talking about different topics like male identity, self-esteem, violence, grief, just things that affect young Black men here in Chicago. And then Coach Q, that last hour, we're doing some boxing because we know physical health and mental health is important. So that's every first Saturday at the Chicago Body Shop. I should know this address by heart, but if you Google Chicago Body Shop,
we got
owner,
Google today.
owner Deonis Harvey, who's the owner of Chicago Body Shop, who's a huge community partner for us. He's been gracious enough to let us host the workshops there. And then in the summer, we do it 9 weeks straight. So they get food, t-shirts, and it's free. All this programming is free. There's no cost to parents. There's no cost to anyone. You know, we don't, if people have trouble getting to us, all they gotta do is email me and say, hey, I need a ride. We set them up with Uber. Like, we want to support. We don't want money to be a barrier for our service.
Right.
Yep. So
listen, we're finding the needs. We're filling the needs. We're providing everything. No reason why we can't be there. What did you study at, and what inspired you to go into services like this?
Ooh, where do I start? So we only got 30 minutes. So Sista Afrika, I am who I needed. I am the therapist I needed. I grew up, unfortunately, I was a ward of the state, grew up in DCFS. And so I lived in group homes and transitional living homes and things like that. And so I didn't have a me as I was going through the system, and I didn't have that space. And I recognized there were a lot of youth like me in the system who just needed their space. And so I became who I needed. I did not set out to be a therapist. I believe God was like, you need to be a therapist. I wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
I remember you
Yeah,
telling
I
me
did.
that.
I wanted to be a sports broadcaster.
Yes.
And so I wanted to also change the way we looked at mental health
Yeah.
with us, and change the narrative around it. A lot of us are raised that what goes on in this house stays on in this house. And as a result of that, we pass down this intergenerational trauma and not enough intergenerational healing as a result of those things. Wow. And so I wanted to be, I consider myself a servant leader. My thing is, if not me, then who?
Come on.
If not us, then who? And so that's the way that I lead. And so that's
if
how
not now, when?
And if not now,
you
when?
Doing it.
Yes. And so I wanted to change the way we looked at mental health. And I realized when I started my business that I was making really good money, and I was doing really well. But I realized there was people who looked like me who couldn't afford our services, and I had heard so many horror stories about taking state insurance and Medicaid, things like that. And I'm like, I still want to own my business, but God came through and said, you know what, you're going to be able to serve your people, and you're going to be able to provide jobs and create and give people a good living. And so that's where it all comes from. I love the work that we do. And honestly, the part that I enjoy the most is providing opportunities for others.
That has to feel so rich.
It feels amazing.
I love that
so
much.
I'm creating these black jobs.
Come on. Making America great again, for real.
Exactly. That's so important to me. And so I love my people. I do. I love my people, which is
you spew that.
And my businesses are a result, are a reflection of that. I want to serve my people because we need each other. We have to lean on each other. And so I'm just who I needed, the sister I needed, the mama I needed, the friend I needed, the therapist I needed. That's just
who
I am.
Providing that outwardly.
Yes.
Now, who are the people that inspired you?
Who inspires me? Where do I start? So I'm going to just pay homage to my late grandmother, my ancestor, Tytannie Harris, who I am affectionately named after. I've had part of her name in my name, who was an amazing woman. I created a grant in honor of her through the Tytannie Harris gift back grant. We've done it 3 years in a row. My grandmother was a giver. My grandmother didn't have much education, and she was to just give you the shirt off her back. And that's why I learned the spirit of giving. And then my angel mom, her name is Tina. I met Tina when I was 16 years old. I lived in a transitional living home. She was my RA in the home. And we became very close. And she unofficially adopted me. And so she's inspired me in so many ways that through TMH Behavioral Services, as a result of my experience with Tina and living in a transitional living home, TMH is going to be opening up a transitional living home for young women ages 18 to 24 who are either in DCFS or who have transitioned from DCFS and are facing housing insecurity.
Amen.
So we're going to have this home. We're set to open in September, where these young women can live in a home for 2 years. We do all type of job training, career development, entrepreneurship, financial, mental health. We're going to provide intense mental health service, wraparound services. It doesn't cost them a thing. And they can stay with us for 2 years. And our goal is to get them into permanent housing. So I'm really excited about that project because it was inspired by my own life of living in a transitional living home, meeting Tina. And so I named a home after her. And it's called Tina's Home. So we're excited about that. So many moving parts with TMH all over the place.
Amazing. This has to feel really good.
It does. It's a full circle moment for myself and my team. Shout out to Latasha Davis, who's my best friend, and also a huge partner in this, Christina Singleton, who's also on my team. They've really helped me put this thing together. So we're really excited, honored to give back, and just can't wait. We got to keep you posted on the grand opening because it's going to be nice. We're excited.
I love how, when you said that, I'm thinking of so many greats.
Yes.
Like LeBron did that. His best friend is his accountant. Yes. Like you said, your best friend, you all work together.
Yeah, she's my vice president. She's the best licensed marriage and family therapist I know. She's a relationship expert. My little sister is my intake coordinator. Her name is Kari. My other best friend is executive assistant on one of my teams. Like, I just believe in providing opportunity, and it works. We all know our role, and it works.
Speaking of it works, and I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
This show is based on community, the Chicago Community Activism Podcast. Yes. If you could define community, what is community? What does it mean to you?
Community to me is love. Community is healing. Community is connecting. Community is about being in a space where you can just be authentically yourself. Community is all those common things that make us one. And I know the Black experience is not monolithic, but we really are one people.
Come on.
And when we pull back the layers, we realize that we all have some of the same challenges.
Oh, absolutely.
It just may look different.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, it's just all about love and healing and connecting. To me, that's community. And that's why I've created TMH Man Cave, TMH Behavioral Services, so that we can have community. Because, healing can be, isolating.
Yeah.
But we've done these, we've created these collective healing spaces. That's why I'm big on healing circles and groups and things like that and workshops, because I believe we can heal together as a community. And one of the reasons why I focus on Black men on the nonprofit side is because I believe Black men are the leaders of our community, whether you want to say that or not. I'm going to say it. Yeah. When they're good, we're good. Right? They're the vehicle that drives us to where we need to be. And so
our men need to be strong and solid. If they're good about themselves, then everybody is.
Yes. And it's challenges for them. And so that's why we focus on Black men and young Black men through TMH Man Cave, because I truly believe when they're good, we're good, and our communities will be better when Black men are healed. And we support their healing journey. And
I'm so grateful that you said that and how you connect so much so fast. I'm trying to catch up. I'm like, she said, goodness, you gave so much. But it's like, no, it's wonderful. I think that like part of why we come Dress Down also is to promote brands, promote the positive groups, organizations, products, services that a lot of Chicagoans bring, to different spaces. Shout out to Pastor Corey Brooks with Project Hood.
Yes, nice. You know, get you a TMH Man Cave.
Got to. Please. This is helping others obtain destiny. Pastor Corey Brooks is building out that new community center. Talk about what you're wearing.
Oh, I don't even know where I got this from. I should have been wearing the TMH Man Cave sweatshirt. My team don't get me.
You that all the day. That's your brand anyway.
Yeah, every day. I'm always there for my words. But it's just a shirt that says meditating because, eat fruit wings,
hydrate with water.
And the reason why I like this sweatshirt, I don't know where I got it from, is because two things can exist at once. Where I tell people I can love God and love Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, right? I can do, you can be woke and still not be so serious.
Yeah, you don't have to be boxed.
Exactly.
I only like this.
Yeah, exactly. I only like that. And so I like to think that I'm like twofold. I am Tytannie, yes, but I'm also Tanya, just a young girl from Robert Taylor.
Come on.
People, I just happen to be the CEO of TMH.
Come on.
Happen to be the
all of
TMH
these things. Chaka
Khan,
every woman. You had me thinking about MC Light, who'll be here soon.
Oh, nice.
In a few weeks at City Winery.
Okay.
But you, MC Light says, I'm more tender than a Roni. I'm hotter than a jawbreaker. You understand me? Yes. We can be both.
Yes, we can. We definitely can be both. I'm just so grateful for the village. People talk about being self-made. I'm village made.
Come on.
The village
that
is a result of who I am, which is why I give so much and just love creating opportunity. Shout out to my personal assistant.
Yes.
Take care of me.
So color coordinated with the Jordans and match. I love it.
And so, I love people.
Yeah.
And being a servant leader has its ups and its downs. And so I'm always trying to make sure I take care of myself, and I encourage us all to do that.
Oh, you definitely do that.
Yeah.
From day one, that has been all over you. If you could collaborate or work with anybody, institution, organization, company, or product, what would that look like? Because part of the show here is to make connections too, and I'm in the PR space and I do a lot of connections with people. What is it? Even if I can't provide it, somebody listening may tap back in like,
we've been around. TMH Man Cave has been around 6 years. TMH Behavioral Service celebrating 10 years. I would just love for us to be able to talk about that on a larger platform. I've never had anything outside of like podcasts, but I would love to just be in a space where we can talk about the 10 years. It's a big deal of my team serving the Chicagoland area for 10 years or Black-owned business.
Okay. So I think Charlamagne the guy, Jennifer Hudson show. Y'all tapping in?
Yes, the Pivot podcast, which I love.
Oh, I love the Pivot. Earn your leisure. Like we got to
brothers
19 Keys.
I
love that.
Shannon, and Fred Taylor. Like every time I watch that show, I'm like, that's TMH Man Cave. This is what the brothers do. It's what we goodness. I love to see these men on podcasts in circles, because when I started this work 6 years ago, this was not happening.
That's right.
This was not happening. And so my team is like, man, we started this 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago, and now to see so many spaces where Black men are being vulnerable,
normalizing it, making it regular.
So those spaces I would love to connect and be on and work with it, just to kind of shed some light on the work that a lot of us are doing here in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
I'm partnering with a lot of folks here. Shout out to Dr. Obari.
Come on now. That's my bro, for sure.
Yes, and so we've
the Blue Door
Neighborhood Center. And so those are some people that I would love to partner with and kind of get eyes on what we're doing for
Okay.
both organizations,
Yeah.
especially at 10 years, because it's gonna be nice. You gotta make
Oh
sure you
yeah.
come out.
Oh, I already got in my calendar
Yes.
saved. Listen, I got my outfit.
Yes.
That outfit gonna be on the bed. I'm sleeping on the floor the night before. You hear me?
You got your blue
We on the
outfit.
floor like my outfit gonna be good. I'm gonna be on the floor.
Yes,
Now I'm
yes.
super excited about that. This work is so important. You know, somebody was saying recently, they were making a joke, a comedian, and he said something like, you know, you see people walking down the street, you think they got an earpiece on, but they talking to themselves. A lot of health centers, mental health facilities have closed. Speak about that. Like this whole notion of, you know, there was a guy, Matt McGill spoke last week at Victor Love's Healing Circle for Black Men at the restaurant. And he said that there was a guy walking down 79th Street and he was just going ballistic, yelling, screaming, throwing stuff, you know, and he didn't have a shirt on. And it was kind of cold last week. And so he went to what used to be a mental health facility and it was closed. So he was banging on the door. I need my meds. Help me. Help me. This is a lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were all in tears. Like, he tried to get the help.
Yeah.
It was like a moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when the mental health centers were closed, I think Rahm Emanuel closed them. I want to miss it. I think that he was the one that closed a lot of them in the city. And it's unfortunate because when we talk about the barriers to mental health services for us, we talk about not having insurance, we talk about not having a space. And so one of the things that TMH has done, which I think that sets us apart, when I say we are a community provider, this is what that means. You don't have to come to us. We're going to come to you. So if you call us up and say, hey, I don't have transportation, or you may not be in your right mind where you can get to us, we're going to come to you. We come to the home. We go to nursing homes. We go to schools. We are a community provider. My therapist in the summertime are taking their clients to the park. We really get into the grit of the work. And so I think that's important in terms of just having that access.
Yes.
I always tell people, you know, mental illness is not a personal failure. Not taking care of your mental health is. You know what I mean? And so there are programs and organizations out here, and I know that at TMH, like I said, we don't turn people away, right? We have a free therapy program. Well, if you call our office, you may not have insurance. That's okay. We'll work with you because I want everybody to get help.
That's right.
And that may look like attending a workshop. They may look like one-on-one therapy. That may look like some sound therapy. That may look like maybe connecting you with TMH Man Cave and doing some group stuff. So I like to think that we have tons of resources for everyone. And then if we can't help you, my team does what's called a soft handoff. We don't just give you a number. We're going to call the organization. Hey, we have a client over here. Are you guys taking anyone? You all take the insurance? We're going to do a soft handoff to make sure that you don't get lost in the sauce. Typically, y'all getting lost in the sauce. We want to make sure that doesn't happen to our people. And so that's important to me.
Very good.
Yeah.
You have covered so much in such a small amount of time.
I know.
So how's your sleep schedule?
So tired. Listen, I have an amazing team. Let me just say that, you know, there are things that I want to do on a personal side. You know, I'm doing business consulting. I've written like 3 books that I haven't released.
Hey, let's go, books.
My team, my leadership team on the TMH side, my executive assistant, they are amazing. And my best friend always says, because you've poured into us, you've empowered us so that we can lead. And I don't micromanage. So
you trust them.
I do. I trust them. I wasn't able to. I've been coaching girls flag football at Simeon the last 3 years. I couldn't have done that without my leadership team. I couldn't have done that without, you know.
Come on, Simeon.
Pull it back. Shout out to the Lady Wolverines.
Yes.
Coach Pruitt.
Did you attend there too?
I did not go to Simeon.
What made you do Simeon?
One of my good friends, Erin Pruitt, and we played flag football together. So she reached out 3 years ago and said, "Hey, I need you to come coach these girls," and it's been amazing.
I love
an amazing experience. I see myself.
But you got a sports background.
I do, and I see so much of myself in those young women. And 2 of the young ladies, I love Morgan and Dakila, who have basically adopted me as their mom and their auntie. I love those 2. And so I love young people. I love being around my people. And so doing that and coaching, I wouldn't have been able to do it without my leadership team, without the trust I've instilled into my team to say, hey, listen, you all got this. And my best friend, Latasha Davis, I'm going to keep shouting out who runs the ship. She runs TMH Behavioral Services.
I love it.
And as she always said, you got to be comfortable being number 2. And she's okay with that. Right. But she's number 1 in my eyes. But she always says she's number 2. Like
she knows her place.
She knows
and
it.
she respects you enough to give you yours, but do her work.
Yes.
Come on, team.
I
love it.
But she's really number 1 because she does it all.
Girl,
I'm a visionary.
She
works the vision. She works the vision. So shout out to her. Can't do this work without her.
I love it.
My entire team.
This is so amazing. How can people find you? And please give some closing remarks.
Yes. So people can find me on all social media, Tytannie Harris, Tytannie Harris, TMH Man Cave, TMH Behavioral Services. I do want to talk a little bit about the event.
Okay, yes.
Saturday, April 19th, we're going to be at the Little Black Pearl
Mhm.
on 47th Street.
Yes.
It's shades of blue. So wear your blue with some sneakers, because people, I know I love sneakers.
Yes, you
and we're
do.
going to have DJ, shout out to Juke the Kid, a
Yes,
live band,
Juke.
heavy hors d'oeuvres. It's gonna be, yes, it's gonna be a really, really good time. I really
Yes.
want you guys to come out. Tickets are on sale right now. Like I said, go to Tytannie Harris, TMH Behavioral Services. All the proceeds from this event I'm giving to my nonprofit.
Come on.
So
Come on.
yeah, so people buy a ticket, the proceeds will go to TMH Man Cave. We're super, super, super excited.
I love it. I love it.
If I can leave anybody with anything, number one, I'll say it again. This is what I always say. So I end things, because I need us to know this.
Mhm.
Mental illness is not a personal failure. Not taking care of your mental health is. And we talk about mental health, we're talking about your social well-being, your psychological well-being,
Mhm.
and your emotional well-being.
Mhm.
And your mental health is, how do you respond when life happens?
Yeah.
That's what it is. How do you respond psychologically? How do you
Yeah.
respond emotionally? How do you respond socially? How do you
Yeah.
think, act, and behave when life happens? It's all about your mental health. That's how you can tell what state of mental health you're in and how good your mental health is. It's how you respond when life happens.
Powerful.
And everything is not a mental illness. Everything is not a trigger. I need people to know that. So yeah.
And then you gave your social media.
Yes, Tytannie Harris, TYTANNIE Harris, TMH Behavioral Services, or TMH Man Cave. Even if you want the TMH Man Cave,
You're gonna see it. You're gonna find it.
You'll find me. You'll find me. And yeah, I mean,
This
thank
show
you so
has
much.
been
Thank
amazing.
you.
So much information.
Yes.
Listen, I've learned so much, and I got some connections in my mind.
Yes.
Excuse me, I got some connections in my mind to make just from listening to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like you think you know somebody. I want to say thank you to B. Gorman, of course, Diverse City, Brownsville Podcast Studios, Chicago Hip Hop Heritage Museum, Trek, that's TRECC, and of course, my nephew Ron on the boards today with Ron Rilla Illinois, our previous guest, Humble Africa Cares. You know what I'm saying? All the guests that have been here previously, thank you all. Don't forget March 8th, after hours from 5 to 10 in Blue Island at the Beer Company. Tap in with us. We love to have you as a guest. We love to support everything that you're doing. Peace out. I'm live, Sista Afrika, Chicago Community Activism Podcast with Tytannie.
We are who we've been waiting for. We are we got. We are our own songsters. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give about me. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking, I'm searching. I'm looking for someone to give.
I love the love. I am so grateful for the enemy, but yet they still attack me with the envy. They're trying to clog my drain, leave me empty. They say I'm honored every week.